Hi guys, Mike91 here, and I've actually been trying to already do like 3 times the 20-second test recording, and have always failed in the beginning because I haven't had anything good to say. But well, here we go right now. So I haven't really been around that much in YouTube or in hacking forums either, and some of you may have been keeping track of the progress of dark energy in the Poke community. I have written stuff about what I've been doing there, but I haven't really gotten that much done, and it's no wonder some of you may think the hack is totally dead and I'm not working on it, but that's not true. That's not true. I've been working on the hack, but mostly on the recent 6 or 7 months or so. Before that, I really was on a break and didn't really get much done. So the hack hadn't progressed that much since beta 4.1, but it's going along pretty well right now. And I'd like to talk about what's been going on since I really posted something a long time ago. It's been probably 2 or 3 years since any content I've uploaded related to this hack. But yeah, the reason why I'm actually recording right now is that I've had issues with the microphone and also the in-game sound, and that's why you're not seeing hearing any sound from the game right now, because I can't get them to work probably at the same time. At least I haven't gotten so far what I've been trying, but I bought this new table microphone 2 days ago, and just also for this purpose, so I could tell you guys what's going on with the hack and recon something. But the place we're right now is called Harbor Town. This is the next town accessible after Granaldo City, and I haven't really mapped the following areas after this one, so there hasn't been that much progress on the gameplay part, but I have edited lots of other stuff, which I'm going to talk about really soon. And before that, I'm going to show a couple of things which may or may not be neat, but anyway. So this thing is actually related to nicknaming, and it might be funny or not. And also you may notice that how the dialogue changes, like in the original game. There were those like 2-line changes at the same time before the dialogue or the sentence ends, and that's how the original game worked. And in Dark Energy Beta 4, the text only changes 1 line per line, and there's actually at least one person who has been annoyed with that, probably others as well, but I haven't heard that much negative feedback about it, but I think it was worth changing. And now all the, at least the huge dialogues in the game, where there's those side cutscenes, they go much faster now that you have to tap A button all the time. But yeah, that's one simple thing I've been changing for pretty much every person event in the game so far. And there's actually something things related to the battle system that I've been changing, mainly related to BP. So in Beta 4, some of you may have heard of this possibility of reaching the ultimate battle mode. So that's something that comes after the Supreme, and in Supreme mode you could still get pretty easily the maximum amount of BP, which was 9,999. But now that maximum amount has actually gone to 1 million, so you can't get that easy, or 909,999. And also have changed the BB required for each price based on that as well. So Magikarp actually requires less BB, it was 50 before I think, and starting from Pichu or so they seem to require more and more BB. So how this works is that whenever you access a new battle mode, the BB you receive in the next battle mode is could be something like in general 10 times the BP you could get in the previous mode. So that makes it pretty much that makes it, for example, possible in Supreme mode to get BB enough for Snorlax and Lapras, but it's really not worth it using it for this or this price. This is something I haven't changed in Beta 4, but this is actually something that has changed. So it was in Beta 4 it was a clock time reset price, which was needed to get Mew in the game, but now it doesn't work like that anymore, so this is something different, and I have changed a couple of quests related to that. Obviously the quest of getting Mew, but also something else which I don't want to spoil right here, but those are a couple of changes I've done. If you take a look at the menu, you can see that the Pokemon have mini sprites. This was something that people in the Skin forums were working on, and it was pretty easily implementable in the hack after they gave the mini sprite. And there was somebody also wrote a routine. I think it could have been Chamber or somebody else, but a routine for adding the mini sprites. But the routine still didn't. Well, it allowed these situations pretty easily, so that you could have like a random Pokemon on the map. But one thing one thing it didn't support was the daycare. I had to write a couple of new ASM routines for that, but it's working also right now. So the mini sprites hack is working correctly, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. So those are a couple of things I've done. Also, I actually wrote a list of changes I want to talk about, so there are a lot more to come. But here's Mr. Burton's house, by the way. So there's no one here right now in the at the start of Beta 5, but this place will have more use in the later game. And if you remember, here's where the opening cutscene happens when Maxim gets inside the house and so on. But also, I might actually try to change or demonstrate this next change if I can. I may have to speed up the recording a little bit. But here you can see a level 36 execute. I'm not sure what the base level of this Pokemon is, and you will see really soon what I mean by the base level. There's Vulpix level 33. Okay, I tried to encounter the same Pokemon twice. So we have 34 Doduo, 33 Vulpix, and 36 Execute. Also Ledianek apparently here. But okay, here's Vulpix. So this is level 37 apparently even. So as you can see, this is actually the same Pokemon. So in GSC you can actually have, I think there were 7 or 8 slots for each route for which you can put a Pokemon into, and I have mostly used them in such way that, for example, now there's only one slot for Vulpix and you can only give it one level. For example, it could have been like level 34 Vulpix, but now there's actually a random number generating thing that draws that somehow, based on what the base level of the Pokemon is, it may actually increment or decrement it with either a level, 2 or 3. And if the Pokemon is on the level 10 it can only increase or decrease by 1. So if, for example, encounter a level 4 Pokemon, if its base level is 4, there's a slight chance it will actually appear as level 3 or 5 as well. And when you counter a Pokemon that is which base level is at least 10, there's a slight chance it can increase or decrease by 2, and there's a slightly better chance that it can increase or decrease by 1. And the higher the base level of the Pokemon is, there's a more chance in variation of the level. So here's I don't know what the base level of this Vulpix was, but basically we can find Vulpix at 7 different levels right here, because the level can even increase or decrease by 3 from the base level. So here's one change. This is actually an idea that came from Coolboy Man, because I think it was his Facebook page where he mentioned the idea of Pokemon having different levels based on some kind of algorithm. I don't know what kind of hack he implemented for that, but I asked if I could do a similar thing in my hack, and he was totally fine with it, and I just did this kind of hack here, and I think it adds a little kind of, well, it changed the concept a little bit, so it's a neat change. Some kind of other things I have done, for example, the items for gym leaders have been changed a little bit. So for example, Rage, which was based on Brock, used to have a hyper potion, which doesn't really make any sense. He's the first gym leader, and now I think he could have, for example, a potion and a super potion, or just a super potion, or something like that. But I've been doing changes to the items that gym leaders have. When you get Bulbasaur or Chikorita in the game, if you remember, I haven't been playing the game, their original trainer is not you, and that means they have a different, they have a new ID. So I made a hack that kinda generates their ID so that their IDs cannot match, so the ID of Bulbasaur cannot be the ID of Chikorita, and their ID cannot also be the ID of what the player has, and so that they wouldn't actually get the boost, and because the boost is dependent on the ID number. I'm not sure if there is actually some kind of functionality in the game already for doing this, but that's one change I added in the game. And actually you can get another Pokemon which original trainer is not you as well, which I'm going to demonstrate right now here. So here is a neat script. This is area 126. That really doesn't matter at all, but if we talk to this guy here, let's see if you can handle my Kingler. So yeah, this guy has this guy has lost his Kingler ball in the water, and if you take a look around, you can easily notice that the ball is right here, and you can actually get the Kingler here. So if you have a room in your party, you'll get it here, and this happens to have the nickname Lobster, but you can actually rename it, just like the guy in that Pokecenter said he renamed the Mukro he got by trading, and in similar way you can actually call this thing Kingler if you want to, or something else. It's totally possible. Yeah, some other changes have been done. For example, I noticed that the happiness values for the Pokemon you get by BP in Battle Simulator were kind of off, or they were too low, so it could take a long time, for example, to get Pichu evolve into Pikachu and so on. So I did some changes to those. There are also things called I marked myself comment about ask questions. So, for example, in the beginning of the game, you can ask people if they have some solution to the sleeping guard problem between Southern Edge and the capital, and I did some changes to those to make them more realistic, like the player doesn't talk by himself and such. I didn't remember what kind of solution there was already in beta 4.1, but I improved it and did also improvements to other parts of the game with similar features. This doesn't also really concern you if you have already played beta 4.1 and finished it, but there are so-called helper events in the game right now. For example, when you reach Milky Village, some people believe you're supposed to like beat the Grand Tower there because you don't know what to do, and that's really not the case. And thus, I, for example, put a woman in area 108 before Grand Tower, saying that hey, you should actually, instead of wasting your time training here, you should actually find the guard's house in Milky Village and get the keys for going forward. And similar helper event can be found in Argent Central, or so-called Argent Warehouse in beta 4.1, and there's a really the research center was supposed to be a warehouse, but because it's not a warehouse, I changed the name, so it's not Argent Warehouse anymore, it's Argent Central. But in a similar way, there is a helper event that tells you should actually go to the capital and surf to Bright Bulb City, and that kind of stuff. And there's also some other helper events in the game, which also make it a bit more obvious how to, for example, finish not side quests but some specific events. For example, I used to upload a video of a girl in, I think it was area 117, or I'm unsure anymore, but still next to the Bright Bulb City, and you're supposed to escort him to not escort but like cut the grass for making her possible to get to Bright Bulb City, but that wasn't really that obvious, so I kind of made the player ponder himself, is there any possibility of actually making this girl get to the Bright Bulb City without walking in tall grass? So as the player talks to him something there, it kind of makes it more obvious that hey, maybe there's actually is something related to this, and she doesn't just think about I wonder if there is a possibility in getting there. So yeah, making things a bit more obvious, although it's still not totally clear, but I think people will totally more likely find it or notice that even hey, there is actually a hidden event like this in the game. Also, there's some bug fixes. I don't remember right now what kind of bugs were in the game, and fixed some grammar errors with fixes that a guy called Blue Emerald provided me earlier. Apart from that, I have finished this area 126 and the harbor town where we came from. One thing I could actually show a bit more, if you're well, I guess you guys are interested, but there was this mining side quest that was inaccessible in beta 4.1, Uh, I'm not sure what's the case right now in the game, but here's this so-called miner's house. What you're supposed to do here is to talk to a person who says he wants to start a mining project in Granaldo Cave, but he can't do that because there's a monster in the cave, which makes it too scary to do stuff there. And the monster is actually that guardian which you defeat in beta 4.1. So once you've defeated guardian, you can come in here, talk to the person, and tell him, yeah, hey, that guardian's gone now, so there's no monster there anymore. So that makes him think that, hey, we should start a mining project here. And he tells you should go and get some hikers to work for him because he's very lazy, and we always have to do stuff for ourselves in this game. And so how this works is that there are these guys in the game. Actually, I can talk to this guy here. I think he demonstrate it, the functionality a little bit. So these miners, or people who look like miners, always tell the stuff that they normally tell you. And once they've done that, you can ask the guy if you want to show him if he would like to join the project. So you can click yes here, and then the characters talk about ... would you like to join, blah blah blah, whatever. And then the man tell what he will tell. But there's a bird farm in Seashore down, by the way. Totally forget this guy had to talk about that. So he didn't come because there's a bird farm and he's going to work there instead. But this way you can get these miners for the job. Once you've had recruited enough miners, well, actually, how this works. No, this wasn't the house I was supposed to go into. This one. How it works is that this guy will actually stay here for a while, and that while actually depends on the number of Pokemon battles you run into. Or how to say it clearly, there's a counter which sets the value to there's some value which the counter is set into, and once you have entered that many battles as the counter states, this guy actually will leave the cave, and these people will start to state that the mining project is going on in the cavern. But I don't think I have recruited any miners in this save file, so this guy will probably tell me that the mining quest is not. Yeah, it looks like we don't have anyone start working on the project yet. But by talking to the people like that, we can find workers for the job, and that way you can actually start a project here. So this is a feature that will be accessible in the next release, and I've also done changes to the crate thing here. Some of you may have seen a video of how it worked before, because I have actually uploaded a video from very early stage of this functionality. But how it works is that, well, how this thing really works is that you get those miners for the job. The miners will be located behind this guy on the area over there, and you will have to pay for the miners $100 for each miner. For example, if you have 4 miners, you have to pay $400 for them to mine there, and you get some of the treasures that they find. And then this guy tells you that, hey, would you like to go resting in the inn while they work? And you can say yes or no. If you tell him that you won't have to, I don't want to go there yet, he asks you if you want to talk to the miners before. If you have a chat with the miners, and they have some funny dialogue that will have to say. So you want to check that out when you when you play the game. And that's actually more obvious than getting to chat with them is more obvious than what I made it seem like actually just now. But how it works is that when you actually go to the resting to the inn, depending on how many miners, well, each miner has a kind of like a different. Well, each one has equally good. Each one is equally good miner, although they don't seem like that when you talk to them. But they're equally good, and with some random number generating, they will find treasures, and the treasures are put inside this crate while you are sleeping. And before in the game, it will actually draw the items you would get when you talk to this crate, but now they are actually put there while you sleep, so you can't like save state here before the crate and try to get as good items as possible and then just load the save file. And I wanted to make it more realistic, and there were actually other issues with the functionality as well. If you have take a look at the original implementation I put a video of, I think it might have told about you not getting any items if your bag is full, and that kind of obstacle isn't there anymore. These items are just left in the crate if you can't carry them. And yeah, so that's pretty much about the mining side quest. And there's still one thing I want to talk about. It's not really related to this hack at all, but I've been studying software development for a couple of years now, and I actually created a small website related to hacks I have done, and I've put a link of that to the video description. Go and check it out if you like. I think it's pretty neat. I have explained. Well, pretty much all the hacks I've done are downloadable over there. At least everything I've still got in my PC. So if there's something I don't really have anymore, you can have it there. But most hacks I've done are downloadable over there. And I've also added descriptions of what the hacks are like, and you can also, that way, if you're interested, you can kind of follow how I developed as a hacker along the years, because well, yeah, I that maybe needs, maybe not, depending on whether you're interested. But there's also there's a web page related to specifically to dark energy there, and there is another web page related to all kinds of other hacks I've done. And along with those, I had planned to upload some resources and tutorials I've done over there as well, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that or not. But I will be updating the dark energy page sometime when I also edit the page for Pocky Community, for instance. But yeah, I think this is all for now, and I'll try to get more stuff going on with done with the hack, and possibly later in the summer or fall upload a video of some neat functionality I've done. But yeah, that's all for now, and see you guys later. Bye.